Religion and Dhamma. Buddha's place in his Dhamma. What is religion? The word religion is an indefinite word with no fixed meaning. It is one word with many meanings. This is because religion has passed through many stages. The concept at each stage is called religion, though the concept at one stage has not had the same meaning which it had at the preceding stage, or is likely to have at the succeeding stage. The conception of religion was never fixed. It has varied from time to time. Because most of the phenomena such as lightning, rain, and floods, the occurrence of which the primitive man could not explain. Any weird performance done to control the phenomenon was called magic. Religion therefore came to be identified with magic. Then came the second stage in the evolution of religion. In this stage religion came to be identified with beliefs, rituals, ceremonies, prayers, and sacrifices. But this conception of religion is derivative. The pivotal point in religion starts with the belief that there exists some power which causes these phenomena, which primitive man did not know and could not understand. Magic lost its place at this stage. This power was originally malevolent. But later it was felt that it could also be benevolent. Beliefs, rites, ceremonies, and sacrifices were necessary both to propitiate a benevolent power, and also to conciliate an angry power. Later that power was called God or the Creator. Then came the third stage, that it is this God who created this world and also man. This was followed by the belief that man has a soul, and the soul is eternal and is answerable to God for man's actions in the world. This is, in short, the evolution of the concept of religion. This is what religion has come to be, and this is what it connotes: belief in God, belief in soul, worship of God, curing of the erring soul, propitiating God by prayers, ceremonies, sacrifices, and other such activities. How Dhamma differs from religion. What the Buddha calls Dhamma differs fundamentally from what is called religion. What the Buddha calls Dhamma is analogous to what the European theologians called religion. But there is no greater affinity between the two. On the other hand, the differences between the two are very great. On this account, some European theologians refuse to recognize the Buddha's Dhamma as religion. There need be no regrets over this. The loss is theirs. It does no harm to the Buddha's Dhamma. Rather, it shows what is wanting in religion. Instead of entering into this controversy, it is better to proceed to give an idea of Dhamma, and show how it differs from religion. Religion, it is said, is personal, and one must keep it to oneself. One must not let it play its part in public life. Contrary to this, Dhamma is social. It is fundamentally and essentially so. Dhamma is righteousness, which means right relations between man and man in all spheres of life. From this it is evident that one man, if he is alone, does not need Dhamma. But when there are two men living in relation to each other, they must find a place for Dhamma whether they like it or not. Neither can escape it. In other words, society cannot do without Dhamma. Society has to choose one of the three alternatives. Society may choose not to have any Dhamma as an instrument of government. For Dhamma is nothing if it is not an instrument of government. This means society chooses the road to anarchy. Secondly, society may choose the police, that is, dictatorship, as an instrument of government. Thirdly, society may choose Dhamma, plus the magistrate wherever people fail to observe the Dhamma. In anarchy and dictatorship liberty is lost. Only in the third case liberty survives. Those who want liberty must therefore have Dhamma. Now what is Dhamma? And why is Dhamma necessary? According to the Buddha, Dhamma consists of prajna and karuna. What is prajna? And why prajna? Prajna is understanding. The Buddha made prajna one of the two cornerstones of his Dhamma, because he did not wish to leave any room for superstition. What is karuna? And why karuna? Karuna is love. Because without it, society can neither live nor grow. That is why the Buddha made it the second cornerstone of his Dhamma. Such is the definition of the Buddha's Dhamma. How different is this definition of Dhamma from that of religion? So ancient, yet so modern, is the definition of Dhamma given by the Buddha. So aboriginal, yet so original. Not borrowed from anyone, yet so true. A unique amalgam of prajna and karuna is the Dhamma of the Buddha. Such is the difference between religion and Dhamma. The purpose of religion and the purpose of Dhamma. What is the purpose of religion? What is the purpose of Dhamma? Are they one and the same? Or are they different? The answer to these questions are to be found in two dialogues, one between the Buddha and Sanghata, and the other between the Buddha and the Brahmin Potthapada. The Exalted One was once staying among the Mallas, at Napiya, one of their towns. Now the Exalted One, having robed himself in the early morning, put on his cloak and took his bowl and entered the town for alms. On the way, he thought it was too early to go for alms. Therefore, he went to the pleasance where Bhagava the Wanderer dwelt, and called on him. On seeing the Blessed One, Bhagava got up, saluted him, and said, "May it please you, sire, to be seated. Here is a seat made ready for you." The Exalted One sat down thereon, and Bhagava, taking a certain low stool, sat down beside him. Seated, Bhagava, the Wanderer, spake thus to the Exalted One, "Some days ago, Lord, a good many days ago, Sanghata of the Likchavas called on me and spake thus. I have now given up the Exalted One, Bhagava. I am remaining no longer under him as my teacher. Is the fact really so, just as he said?" "It is just so, Bhagava," a Sanghata of the Likchavas said, replied the Blessed One. "Some days ago, Bhagava, a good many days ago, Sanghata, the Likchavi, came to call on me, and spake thus, 'Sir, I now give up the Exalted One. I will henceforth remain no longer under him as my teacher.' When he told me this, I said to him, 'But now, Sanghata, have I ever said to you, "Come, Sanghata, live under me as my pupil"? No, sir, you have not. Or have you ever said to me, "Sir, I would fain dwell under the Exalted One as my teacher"? No, sir, I have not. Then I asked him, if I said not the one, and you said not the other, what are you and what am I, that you talk of giving up? See, foolish one, in how far the fault here is your own. Well, but, sir, the Exalted One works me no mystic wonder surpassing the power of ordinary men. Why now, Sanghata? Have I ever said to you, "Come, take me as your teacher, Sanghata, and I will work for you mystic wonders surpassing the power of ordinary men"? You have not, sir. Or have you ever said to me, "Sir, I would fain take the Exalted One as my teacher, for he will work for me mystic wonders beyond the powers of ordinary men"? I have not, sir. But if I said not the one, and you said not the other, what are you and what am I, foolish man, that you talk of giving up? What think you, Sanghata? Whether mystic wonders beyond the power of ordinary man are wrought, or whether they are not, is the object for which I teach the Dhamma. That it leads to the thorough destruction of ill for the doer thereof, whether, sir, they are so wrought or not. That is indeed the object for which the Dhamma is taught by the Exalted One. If then, Sanghata, it matters not to that object whether mystic wonders are wrought or not. Of what use to you would be the working of them? See, foolish one, in how far the fault here is your own. But, sir, the Exalted One does not reveal to me the beginning of things. Why now, Sanghata, have I ever said to you, "Come, Sanghata, be my disciple and I will reveal to you the beginning of things"? Sir, you have not. Or have you ever